Are you a first-time homebuyer waiting for the perfect time to jump into the market? Here's the thing. Interest rates are dipping, prices have softened, and inventory is rising. But a lot of buyers are still sitting on the sidelines, just waiting. In this video, I'm going to break down what's really happening in the real estate market, why many first-time homebuyers are hesitating, and how you can take advantage of today's conditions before the window starts to close. Stick around right to the end because I'll share practical tips and a detailed action plan on how to prepare and position yourself so you're ready to buy with confidence. Buying your first home is exciting. You picture the space, the neighborhood, and also the lifestyle. According to a recent survey done by Royal LePage, many first time home buyers know exactly what they want. The challenge is deciding when to act. Today, we'll talk about what this survey reveals and why so many people are hesitating, and what steps you can take to make a smart move in 2025. Let's start with the market snapshot. Interest rates have started trending lower, inventory is going up, which means more choices for buyers. Prices, on the other hand, have stabilized and even softened in some areas. In the second quarter of 2025, the national aggregate price increased just by 0.3% year over year to $826,400. Quarter over quarter is actually dropped slightly by 0.4%. These are positive signs if you're looking to buy your first home. Yet many buyers are still holding back, hoping for further rate cuts or fearing economy uncertainty. The Royal LePage survey found that 13% of Canadian adults intend to buy their first home within the next 2 years. Most of them, about 82%, are waiting at least 12 to 24 months before they buy. That hesitation can be very costly. When demand eventually surges again, competition and prices could rise as well. So, what are buyers doing right now? Even though many first time home buyers are waiting to make their move, they're not sitting idle. More than half, about 51%, are already researching affordable neighborhoods. Another 49% are browsing online listings just to stay informed, and about 19% have started going to the in-person showings, and another 19% have reached out to a real estate agent. So what does that tell us? It's telling us that buyers are preparing, but they're not quite ready to pull the trigger just yet. If you're serious about becoming a homeowner, this is your chance to get ahead of the curve. Detached homes still dominate. Despite the price difference, 49% of first-time home buyers still dream of owning a detached home. And lifestyle plays a big role. 42% say they'd pick a neighborhood based on lifestyle, even if it means a bit of a longer commute. Outdoor space, move-in ready homes, and proximity to amenities remain the top priorities. This is a reminder that buying your first home isn't just about price, it's about how you want to live. Knowing your priorities early will help you narrow your search and avoid wasting time on homes that don't fit your needs. How are buyers making all this work? Affordability remains one of the biggest hurdles. Here's how the first time buyers are making it work. 60% are looking in more affordable areas. 40% are downsizing their expectations, which means smaller homes or fewer features for their first home. 39% are cutting discretionary spending like traveling or dining out. And almost 30% are tapping into retirement or investment savings for their down payment. These numbers show that with the right planning and the right mindset, becoming a homeowner is still possible in today's market. Family support is another big piece of the puzzle. According to the survey, 41% of first-time home buyers say they'll receive financial help from family or friends. Of those, 29% will get a lump sum they don't need to pay back. 27% will receive a loan. 28% will have a cosigner, and 26% will get help with their monthly payments. Meanwhile, 51% will buy without any assistance whatsoever. The difference between those who get support and those who don't highlights the real affordability gap many Canadians are facing right now. So why is waiting not really going to pay off for some people? One of the biggest takeaways for first-time home buyers is this: waiting for the perfect time can sometimes backfire. It's natural to think, I'll wait until the rates go down just a little bit more, or maybe prices will drop a little bit more, but the housing market doesn't always wait for you. When the broader economy shifts, things can change fast and sometimes almost overnight. So let's talk about the rates versus demand, the tipping point. Right now, interest rates are starting to trend a little bit lower. That's good news for affordability because lower rates can mean lower monthly payments. But here's the flip side. As soon as rates drop far enough to make a noticeable difference, thousands of these would-be buyers who've been waiting on the sideline could jump back into the market all at the same time. When that happens, more buyers compete for the same homes. Sellers can see an increase in activity and they may hold a little bit more firm on their asking price. Bidding wars, which we've already avoided recently, can start creeping back in. Let's talk about the confidence effect. Markets are driven by confidence as much as by the numbers. When people feel good about their job security, the economy, and their mortgage payment, they're more willing to buy. That collective confidence often sparks a wave of demand. We've seen this in Ottawa before. Periods of stable or slightly falling prices were followed by sudden surges of activity once the rates dipped or the market sentiment shifted. For example, during past cycles when rates eased, buyers who had been cautious suddenly re-entered and prices that had been flat began to climb again. In Ottawa specifically, we are in a relatively balanced market right now. Active listings gives buyers more choices. Price growth has been modest, about 1.5% to 4%, depending on the property type and location. We're not seeing the frantic bidding wars we had a few years ago. That balance creates a window of opportunity. You can take your time to evaluate homes and negotiate, which isn't always possible in a hot market. So what happens when the demand surges? Here's where waiting gets a little bit risky. Imagine you're looking at a home at $650,000 today. If a wave of buyers enters the market 6 months from now and pushes the prices up just 5%, that same home could cost $682,500. So from $650 to $682. And if you were counting on a lower interest rate to make things more affordable, the rate savings could be offset or sometimes even erased by the higher home price. Plus, once competition heats up, buyers often need to make stronger, cleaner offers, sometimes without conditions, which can be stressful and limit your negotiating power. And what about the cost of a missed opportunity? If you wait too long, the home that was within your reach today might be out of reach tomorrow, either because the price may have climbed or because another buyer snapped it up right under your feet. You don't want to be the buyer saying, oh, I could have bought that home last year for less, but I just hesitated. I wanted to wait a little longer to see what was going to happen. So what's the final takeaway? The key isn't to rush in blindly. It's to prepare now so you can act confidently when you find a home that meets your needs. The perfect time isn't about predicting the lowest possible rates or the lowest prices. It's about being ready before the crowd rushes in. By getting pre-approved, saving for your down payment, and watching your preferred neighborhood closely, you put yourself in a position to take advantage of today's balanced market instead of tomorrow's competition. So let's talk about the action plan for the first-time home buyer. Number one is get pre-approved for a mortgage. This is the very first step. You need to understand what your numbers are. A lot of times we talk about this. Getting pre-approved is the first thing you should be doing before even looking at homes. This is the most important part of your home buying journey. So make sure that you do get pre-approved and not those online pre-approvals. You want to make sure you sit down with a mortgage broker, go through everything from your income to your taxes that are still maybe outstanding or owed, your T4s, your revenues, your expenses, everything from top to bottom, because this will give you a much clearer picture of your financial situation. Number two is start researching neighborhoods. Choosing a home isn't just about the house, it's about the community and the lifestyle. Make a list of your must-have, your commute times, your access to transit, parks, schools, safety, walkability, and future development plans. These are all things that sometimes people don't think of, but it's a very important part of owning your home. Make sure you know where you want to buy. It'll make your life a lot easier. Number three is save for your down payment. Your down payment is often the biggest hurdle, but planning early makes a huge difference. The minimum in Canada is 5% for homes under $500,000, and a blended rate applies to up to $1 million. Putting 20% or more down lets you avoid mortgage insurance, the premiums, which lowers your monthly cost. Use a separate bank account to put that down payment aside every week, every paycheck, every month, because that will help you get to the down payment you need to buy your first home. Number four is cut that discretionary spending. A lot of buyers underestimate how much of a difference small lifestyle tweaks can make. Review your monthly budget and see where you can scale back streaming services, maybe dining out, subscriptions, weekend getaways. These are all little things that add up at the end of the month. Look at your budget, but also where you are spending that money, because you'll be very surprised to how much money you spend on things that you might not really need. This will help you with your down payment and also your monthly mortgage payments. Number five is connect with a trusted real estate agent. A good local agent is more than someone that just unlocks the doors to let you in. They will guide you, they will advocate for you, and they will help you analyze the market. They can also help you focus on your search, on the right neighborhoods, the right property types. This is something that you really should do at the beginning, as early as you can. Meet a few, see who you bond with a little bit more. You're building a relationship with this real estate agent. So make sure that the realtor you're meeting is somebody that you can work with for a long term. Number six is get familiar with the full cost of buying. Beyond the down payment, you'll need to budget for your closing costs and also your ongoing monthly expenses. Closing costs include things like legal services, legal fees, land transfer tax, home inspections, and sometimes appraisal fees. So make sure you put down roughly 3 to 4% of the purchase price to make sure you have enough money set aside for those closing costs. Number seven is stay flexible and ready to act. The market can shift quickly, but buyers who are prepared and can move confidently without second guessing are the ones that are going to win. Don't get hung up on finding the perfect home. Be prepared to compromise on some of those nice to haves. Remember, you can always renovate, upgrade, or trade later. Make sure this is something that you're ready. When the perfect house hits the market, you'll be ready to take action. So taking these steps now before you actively start your shopping gives you a huge advantage over everybody else. When the right home comes on the market, you'll be ready to move fast and with confidence. Preparation turns first-time buying from overwhelming to actually exciting. So here are my final thoughts on your first-time home buyers. Buying your first home is a big decision, and it's normal to feel a little bit uncertain. That good news is that today's market is giving you something we haven't seen in a long time. It gives you time to think and plan without the intense bidding wars that we had over the past few years. By getting prepared now, you can be ready to act when the timing is right for you. Remember, the goal isn't just to buy a house, it's to buy a home you can comfortably afford and enjoy for many years to come. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it helpful, feel free to share it, hit the thumbs up, and don't forget to drop a comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more straight talk on real estate. I will see you in the next video, but in the meantime, if you have any questions about anything real estate related or buying your first home, make sure to give me a quick call, or you can always email me at jeanricher@jeanricher.com. Merci beaucoup et bonne journée.